Hello folks and welcome back here to Mindustry. We are in sector 175 I believe is where we're at here. Let's take a look. Yeah. And we just completed Frozen Forest. So we're going to slowly start creating our way over there. The problem with Frozen Forest, if we launch from there, we don't have any real good kind of ways to do that. So what I think we're going to do is just try to connect through there. And then we do have one way over on the other side here called the Craters. But I'm not prepared to go there yet. I want to see if I can unlock anything else. So we're going to launch over to 220 and then we'll go over to 221 and just try to join our worlds together and maybe see why that's locked at some point here. As we go through here real fast, let's take a look at the tech tree. We have all of this stuff taken care of. We got our pneumatic drill and we also have a laser drill now. If you take a look down here, we unlock some more of our autonomous units. We have our walls up here, and we also have some doors, large and small doors. And that's pretty much where we're at with all this stuff. So we have to create a steam generator to get that one. We have lots of stuff to do there, more to do there. And this one, we need a metaglass. So we have a bunch of things we still need to take a look at, like salt flats. I don't even know where that's at yet. So we'll figure this out as we go through here and see exactly what's going on. Like this one here, we need to capture the craters to be able to get that. I'm assuming that's probably the steam generator since that's along the same lines of all power production here. I could be wrong, but maybe. And we'll take a look and see where we're at with all this. But I'm pretty excited here because we can really start diving in and hopefully getting some stuff going here. So we're going to launch over, full loaded up. We have insufficient resources. Let's just max those out. Head on back and now we can launch over and we'll see what type of world we launch into. So this is sector 220. We have a total of 20 waves and there are just not a lot of resources. Oh my. Okay, so we have some copper here, a little bit of coal. Going further out, we have some lead. Oh, this is a big map. Oh my, wow, look at all that coal up there. Okay. My goodness, this is a large map. Okay. So we're going to take a look and see, first off, we need to figure out where we're spawning at. And then once we, or should I say the bad guys are spawning, and then once we have that, they have a long way to get to us. So I'm just going to unpause this. We're going to fly up because chances are it's going to be up here in the top right somewhere. And hopefully that's still true. And we'll see where we go from here. But it's taking us for, okay, so we're going there. So we have resources here that we can use to set up those. And then we have a few resources that we can use to block off that. So we have two main routes that we can block off pretty easily. Nothing too big a deal there. So we'll build our duos. I don't think we'll have any hope of getting these supplied in time, but that's okay. Do we have pneumatic stuff? Yes, we do. That's at least a plus that we can get some decent drills going on here. And then we can just plop up our setup here. Going over, and connecting up. And while we're doing that, we can also set our walls to full defense here. So I'm not going titanium because we don't have titanium to use right now. Otherwise, that's what would be my product of choice. But right now we have that. We'll get our walls set up. Nothing big deal. We still have 3 minutes to get this rolling. And then hopefully we can just drag in some stuff. Hopefully this one's not too hard because there's not a lot going on here that looks like it's going to be super useful for what we want to do. But we have our ammo loading up in these close ones here. And then we're going to fly up to this area. We'll block off this and use our copper over here to kind of control that spot. And we will be in good shape, I think, unless it's an air attack. Then we're kind of screwed. But we'll deal with that if it happens. We got our router set up and look, we can even throw a duo right there. Magic. All right. And then we have all of this in there. Bada bing, bada boom. And I'm just going to move far enough away from all that stuff to try to get pieces here. So we get a little backlog and get those set. And we'll start feeding some ammo into our duos here. And that should hold us for a little while. Again, unless we're dealing with air tech, then we have a little bit of problems here. But hopefully it's not that. We'll check that out in a little while. This is a huge map. I just can't get over how big this map actually is. I feel like I'm going the right way. There we go. Okay. So we're back home to our location here. We're just going to start feeding in some copper to try to replenish our stocks here. Let's see, we got these. Fantastic. And we'll feed those all the way down into there. There we go. And we'll probably do the same thing with lead here as well. No, we don't have really great resources for it. We're just gonna do our best here. This is an interesting map as far as how everything's really spread out pretty far. But it's also kind of in this odd way where it's kind of there, but kind of not. Alright, so we have at least some initial things starting. We'll probably put some graphite presses in here. So let's just pause the game real fast. Get our basic graphite press area set up. We're going to just do that up here, I think. 2, 3, 4. Whoever came up with this little setup is far smarter than I, because this is a really nice little system that works really well. And then we just need to mine out. Actually, we'll cancel that. Let's see here. What's the most effective way to do this? The other thing this area has a lot of is sand, which is good for us because that means we're going to be able to generate some other things that we haven't been able to do in the last couple worlds because they don't generate sand or haven't generated sand for us. Just pull that one over there. And we're just going to bring this on down. I suppose I should probably choose what that's supposed to be there. But we have our coal flying in there. Hopefully it's going to generate quickly. And we have wave 1 coming in just about a minute. So let's go over. Again, we have a lot of resources up here that we can do stuff with. And this is all dark sand, which is awesome. So we're going to be able to generate a lot of power here very shortly. You can see our duos are already filled up. We have another stack of duos over here that is filled up. Let's just throw in some more defenses on that. And we'll do the same thing farther down here. And there's really not many super good reasons to waste the resources on us. We just have them and we can use them, so we're going to. Let's get those duos in there. We have a few seconds and let's see. Okay, so we just have a basic ground unit, nothing big deal. He's not even oh, he can. I thought he wasn't ranged to get us, but he can. Now our duo should engage and take out. Cool. That doesn't seem like too big of a deal. And what is that? I don't know what that is. Looks like oil or water or something. But let's go in and explore. There was an area that had just an absolute ton of coal. I want to explore that area. I think it was up here. Somewhere up here. There it is, right there. Look at that. That is gorgeous. So let's go in and just mine the crap out of that. There we go. All right. So we'll have that there. We'll use some other ones in this general area. And what I think we're going to use these to do is to generate power for us. So we'll do something like that. We'll build our power node. Let's go right there. Put some batteries around it just so that we have, when we first start making stuff, it's going somewhere. I don't know if it's the best way to do this, but this is how I always tend to start my games as far as getting power. And we have something that looks a little like that. We're producing power. That's not going to be enough here. We'll see that that should drop down below 180. Well, it's doing a decent job of feeding that. Okay. And then we're going to feed that stuff out. So I could actually make another line of... Let's see. There we go. Okay. So we'll make another line of those guys going right there. And then we're going to put in some factories. And this is going to be the silicon smelter. That's going to exist right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to have a total of 4 of these. Not because they're necessarily the best things, but because that's what I want to have. And our enemy... Okay. Okay, just got defeated. That's all I was worried about. I saw that he was on there and he wasn't going anywhere, so I was a little worried, but for nothing. So we'll put those like so. There'll be junctions in between all of those. And then we're going to separate those out. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that should all be well and good. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, and then we're going to feed sand into this other side here. The sand, I'm probably just going to drill somewhere over here. We'll do something like that. We may even put a router on here to feed additional sand out to the back of this thing, but we'll see. I can also just put some stuff over here to do the same general idea. We cannot do the large power node because it requires titanium, so that's a bummer. And this world does not have any titanium whatsoever. But we'll start firing these bad boys up. You can see that we're already not producing enough of that stuff there, but that's okay. And we'll start snaking down some of this because we have to go really, really far down to get to where we want to be, which is fine. Once we start making this stuff, it should be really nice. We'll have a lot of resources for us. There's just a lot of resources that you don't normally have in this game available to you really quickly. The problem is that they're just very, very far away from where you might want to have them. But that's okay. We'll generate all that stuff. We'll get them going over. Right, and hopefully that is everything we need to have for that. You can see it's breaking up a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to put in, you can see the sand is our problem here. So we're just going to roll this one into there. And then I can put some additional drills here along this line. And produce some extra sand to go into these later ones so we can start really rocking through a lot of these resources, getting them going. In a perfect world, what I'd probably have is just a couple of these dedicated for each individual one so that there's no hold. They just kind of went, but I didn't do that. So not a big deal. It's just a decision that we made here. Let's go take a look at our defenses. Looks like still nothing really being hurt or impacted by anything. We'll probably want to provide a little bit of power here at some point. Maybe set up a power plant from this coal source and we'll run that out there. And then we have some additional coal up here because we could put some lancers and such in there and some menders to just help with anything that might cause us some problems down the road. Again, we don't have any air defenses right now, so that might be a little bit of a concern, but So far, it hasn't been, and generally what happens when you have a kind of a intro like this, it starts off a little slow and then we'll build up over time, so we're just going to hope that it does that and that we stay safe. But let's go take a look here. It's only, again, these are just really not super powerful enemies. I'm not super worried about what they're doing. We're a quarter of the way through this. We've already defeated that bad guy. And I think part of this is also we just have way too much in the way of technology for this particular area. And I'm okay with that. So let's go in and just put this through here. Not a battery, we want a combustion generator. We'll do that. And then from there, we'll build our power network heading out towards our walls. Alright, so we have something that looks a little bit like that. We'll throw some menders in there, so let me find where those go. I always forget where the menders are at for some reason. Where are you, menders? There it is. Alright, so looks like if we just space them evenly here, it should take care of all of our walls, all of that stuff. We're producing enough power to take care of those. We're storing power. And then, just for good measure, we'll put in some lancers back here, just because we can. And I wouldn't be surprised if the bad guys started going up to the north one, because this is just stupid. This is not fair. It's way too much power for what we are actually doing. And let's see if they decide to go a different way. Nope. Okay. This one's going to be a little boring, I think, because there's just not a whole bunch that they're going to be able to do to us to make this a real threat. So we'll do that. 1, 2, 3. Get another battery system here. And some more combustion generators. And then we can build out our network a little bit more. Alright, and then we'll throw menders on there. Not that one. There it is, mender. So we have our menders, and then we can throw on a couple lancers here. 1, 2. Oh, we have the first one, I think, with 2 bad guys, but again, they're really not all that scary or dangerous, and our lancers are probably just going to light these guys up. Yeah, it's not even fair. So they're all well and good. When those things fire, they use up a good amount of the stored energy, but they're still being able to produce that stuff. We can actually, if we wanted to, add on another combustion generator here. And another router back there. And now we're producing 150 power per second or per minute. We can see that our silicon's just going bananas over there. We're pretty much filling that up, which is wonderful. We'll probably need to increase our production of other stuff here, because I'm going to load all of the resources that we have available to us fully up. So we don't need to worry about that. That one's going fine. We're not worried about that. But our lead and our copper, we're probably going to need to increase them just a bit to make sure that we have these things maxed out. So let's see how we want to do this. I think we'll do something like that. Not that one. And then we'll do something like that. then something like that. And I hate this spot right here because it always causes problems, but we have mostly full belts, so hopefully it won't cause any problems. You can see how it spits out to the side. I don't understand why the game decided to do it that way, but as we load up that belt, that should not happen anymore because there's just no space to put anything extra. And we're just going to keep running that down all the way down here. And we'll get all the way to the bottom here. Then we'll cross over. And we know that pretty much we can't go any more than that. We'll probably build some more copper mines here. I love the ability to cross over these things though. It's such a nice little feature. And you can see as these fill up here, there's no more spaces like there were down here, how it's kind of just putting them on both of them. Once we get down here, it's just going to fill up. We have our lead, we have our silicon, and we're good to go. And then this one's producing what we need to from there. And we have lots more options farther up, but I don't think we're going to need them. There's just not a lot going on in this particular level as far as bad guys or anything else. So let's just try to go forward a little bit faster here because this is going to take too long if we do anything else. So let's go in here. We're going to do more of that and that. One is all about just snaking resources all the way down back to our core to load that bad boy up and to hopefully get it to be as full as possible. Now I'm doing that. That's probably not the best idea. I'm going to run a secondary line here. Bring all the way over, but I'm just putting it there as a kind of a buffer to begin with. Just in case, because what we're really behind on right now is our copper production. So we'll see once the copper reaches this area down here, which is coming right now. It doesn't look like there's going to be many holes in that, so we'll probably just fill that in here like so and remove that area. We are going to need to get some more copper in this because I want to fill that entirely up. And we can't do a laser drill because we don't have titanium. Even though it doesn't require that much titanium, they are very, very power intensive. So maybe that's the reason why. I also have questions like, we're not going to worry about that right there. But like these little areas right here, why do they show us just little glimpses of stuff that you can't really do anything with? I don't understand. I'm just, again, fast forwarding this a little bit. And by fast forward, I mean we're just letting the waves come a little quicker because we don't need to worry about them. They're not scary waves. They're getting absolutely just wiped out before they can do anything. The only thing that might happen is we might get an airwave somewhere in here, and if we do that, that will be a problem. But blocking off this... Oh, there we go. Okay, so we have our first airwave. We're going to need to just address that situation very quickly here. So let's just add on a few... Actually, that's a lot, but that's okay. We're going to get some scatters in here. And let's see. Put on those there. And then we'll put some going back this way. Because it looked like they came from up top here. So if we just protect that area a little bit, we can deal with those before they ever actually interfere with anything here. So we'll do all of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I always forget that there's just a function that allows you just to copy and paste stuff, but alright, so we're gonna bring that down over there, like so. This one's also gonna come down and over, and then we will take a setup here and go over and bring these ones down, and we will be in good shape with hopefully securing our duos, or excuse me, our scatters, to make sure that they are not a problem for what we want to do here. So I'm just going to put that in there. This whole area looks like it is just flying through with stuff. Maybe we can put one up there too. I don't know. And now we don't have that backup issue there. We have a little bit of backup there, but otherwise not a big deal. And we'll fill up those scatters. I should probably do something similar over here, and probably something in this general area. But let's take a look and see what we have. Okay, so this one is all ground units, which is good. That gives us a little more time to set up our scatters. There's not a whole lot of lead back in this area. There's some there. There's some all the way over here. Let's see. So if we get... we'll just deal with that and hope that it works for us. And then we can put in enough scatters to make sure that they don't want to bother us too badly here. Alright, we have that there. Not the greatest work in the world. That's not enough to feed those long term, but for right now it's fine. We'll go in, establish, let's see, what do we have here? Okay, so we definitely do want to protect this area. Look at that, that is just producing like monster over here. The only thing that's suffering is that we actually have this one filling up, so that's a goodish problem. But let's go in here and let's be stupid a little bit and just go through and do something like this. Alright, so we have that. Then we can throw in some scatters all around. Alright, so those scatters will keep this area mostly safe, especially if they get past any of that. Let's see. Alright. Maybe it was just a one-time thing. And then we'll go in and put some more of this around our electricity production, making sure that that's all set, and we'll probably just add a couple scatters here as well. Alright, we'll bring that one down, and we're just going to bring it along here. I'm not super worried about protecting a whole bunch of stuff. I just want to make sure we have the basics covered. See, this one's filling up, but it's going to take a long time to get all that, but that's okay. And then we'll go through and just add on a few of our last scatters in this general area. And your only job for these ones is to protect our power production there. And if we do that, we will have done a good job. We have not done anything down this area, any of this. We have not protected our home base at all. Maybe we'll add on a scatter or two down here just to say that we did everything we could have to keep our area safe. So we'll put those in there, and then maybe we'll add some duos along. I don't know. I don't think there's really a need to right now. If we wanted to, we could probably build a wall and then also add on some additional, I don't know, power-based stuff. What's the other one? A lancer and an arc. And these guys are some of my favorites because they don't produce anything. And then we just have our lasers go in and just wreck them and get them set. And to provide a little additional blockage if we wanted to, do something like this. And then I'm going to be smart and just copy and paste that thing. There we go. Look at me being smarter. Alright, these look like these beginning guys don't have range. The farther ones do. I'm going to focus their firepower on that, which means that my lancers can walk in and just absolutely wipe them out. There are a lot of bad guys, but they really aren't very strong. They don't seem to have a lot of power to them. Wiped out just so easily. It's not really even fair of how quick and easy my defenses are making this. So we'll go through. We'll do the last round here. It's only 3 guys. They don't have range. I could actually probably knock these ones out before they ever reach our spot. There they go. Sector is captured. We learned nothing new. There's no new research or anything like that. And if we go over into our planet, I just want to join these together totally. So we have all of those places there. And then once we do that, we're going to head over to craters, I believe. There's some mountainous areas out here. We can't see them. They're all locked. But biomass synthesis, we can see that there's a little tinges of green here, where we've been in, looks like all kind of cold places. As we rotate around to the back of the planet across from the sun, there's some green in here, which we have not seen yet. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about exploring these mountains at some point. And it's been so long since I've played this game, and I don't think I've ever actually won it. I'm assuming the goal here is to capture the entirety of all these sectors. I'm not positive about that, but I think that's the play here. So we're going to go in and try to capture this. And we still can't deal with that, but our current one is still vulnerable, so we have some work to do to figure out whatever's going on there. And what's interesting is this one looks like it's a smaller sector than this one here. I thought they're all the same size, but apparently not. Alright, that's going to go ahead and wrap us up here for today. Please let me know where you want me to go next, because I would love to kind of explore a little more. And if you know more about this game than what I do, maybe you should tell me that I'm playing wrong and everything is terrible. So otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Let me know what's up.